Push on anyway. Poor Phoenix. It may be something of a joke, but this is a historic moment. Oh god. The first time a puppet has ever proposed to a human being. I advise that you cut this argument short. I'm gonna have to agree with the defense here. Will the witness please revise their testimony? Specifically about that engagement ring, I like to stick to the facts, not sociology. You sure do enjoy some of the details, especially for a man in a black bathrobe. Poor judge, just so many insults towards him today. I plan on giving the engagement ring to Regina. Okay, yep, know that. Is that the same? Oh, I guess it is the same. I guess they just changed it. I kept it in my pocket, waiting for the chance to propose to her and give it to her. First, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present for her. You don't have it in your pocket, though. Well, I want to press on these first, but you don't have it in your pocket, technically. Hold it. An engagement ring. Oh, wait. Did I already go through? Uh-huh. It's actually a diamond-shaped stone cut from glass. Even more brilliant than the real thing. I think Regina's really gonna love it. It's just a ring. What's the matter, Nick? Well, there's gotta be something I can catch on him on. Well, I already know what it is now. I just want to go through these options. Whose pocket was the ring in? Mine, of course. A stupid question. You gotta be kidding me. You think Ben could pull that off? I'm sorry, really. You don't have to apologize for that. He's the one who should be apologizing, dumbass. Really? Of course, I also had it in my pocket that night. It was a present. So you went to the lodging house to give it to her? That's right. I tried to give it to her during practice so many times, but I lost count, but the uppity snob kept getting in the way. Uppity snob? He couldn't possibly be talking about Maximilian Galactica. When I get a hold of him, I'm gonna sew his woodblock in half, and not with magic. Whew, that's dirty. If that's what I'm thinking. Never mind. Forget I said anything. Well, they always say that love creates rivalries. So what about the present? In the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I'm still got it in my pocket. But that's false. I don't know if I want to press on this or not. I don't really care. I'm gonna present the ring. Yeah. I have your ring now, bitch! Trilla, do you mind if I show you something? What is it? What are you talking about? Oh, looks like they're going to double team me now. Do you recognize this ring? Ah, that's mine. Give it back, thief. Thief. Didn't you just testify about this very object? I believe you said, in the end, I wasn't able to give it to her, so I've still got it in my pocket. Why then do I have it here right now? Yeah, he did explode. What's going on here? That's... Ben, say something. And don't put me on the spot like that, Trilo. I found this in Money's room. Money's room? You mean the room they put money in? Like a bank vault? Huh, that filthy monkey is gonna get what's coming to him. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you avoided slandering innocent fiats in my court. Well, Your Honor, Money really is a monkey. In every sense of the word. Ah, I see. Well then. Money likes to go after the shiniest things he can and gather them up. Shiny things. Trilo, when was this ring stolen from you? Well, I suppose it was that time, you know, that night, the night of the crime. What did you just say? Details, I need more details. Well, it was stolen right after Max showed up in the plaza. Right about when you saw the defendant walk past, correct? Well, I guess you might be able to say that. The ring might have, well, could have been taken around that time. Oh god. Oh god, monkey, that monkey doesn't just steal things, he assaults people. He's a danger. Ben, what's with you? Oh, whatever. There's nothing to do with anything, especially not who committed the murder. It's not for you to decide what has to do with what. Now, Trilo, back to the topic at hand. I haven't admitted a thing. Not I, Mr. Triloquist. What did you do when the ring was taken from Trilo? You know exactly what I did. I snatched after that ring. I chased after that ring, snatching monkey money. Oh god. So such a weird sentence. But you weren't able to catch up with him, were you? It's all because of the slow, loafy fool called Ben Fall. While I was fumbling his way through the snow, that dumb monkey was able to get away. That is indeed an incredible shame. Well, this does indeed prove that one very important point. Prove a point? What point could that possibly be? Ben doesn't exercise enough. Exactly. There is a flaw in your testimony, good sir, and it is that you do not exercise enough. So how could you see Max that night if you didn't exercise enough? It all connects now. No, yeah. Just continue on with that. There's a huge contradiction in the witness's testimony. Contradiction? The witness just testified to the following effect. Up until the police arrived, he didn't move from the plaza from the entrance to the plaza. However, the witness just stated that he chased after the money. I give up on that. No. Moving on. When the witness was off chasing money, there was no one watching the plaza. Why do you hug yourself like that? It's so awkward. What's the meaning of this all, Mr. Wright? Where are you going with this little theory of yours? I'm saying that there's no possible way that this witness saw the plaza the entire time. That's what I'm going. That's where I'm going with this little theory, which leads me to the next point. It is entirely possible for someone other than the defendant was at the scene. I need to take a drink of water. I'm fucking up too much.
Objection!
Interesting, Mr. Wright. Well then, tell me this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Do you have any proof that something slipped past this vigilant ventriloquist? Well, he obviously didn't see the victim, the ringmaster, arrive on the scene. However, that doesn't change the fact that he saw the defendant arrive. The witness is lying. He is blinded by his rivalry with Max. Well, the defense's argument does hold water. The witness does have a history of animosity towards the defendant. What? How dare you? I wouldn't lie just to get that dork face in trouble. He's not even worth it. I saw him, no doubt about it. I saw that worthless liar. Well, just for clarity's sake, let's flesh out exactly who you saw on that night. Huh. I've already told you so many times. You think you know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, sick boy. And I'm sure it'll change some more. Where there's one lie, there's usually many more behind it. Exactly, Maya. That's why we have to keep after him. Yeah. Alright, what's the new testimony? I'll give you that I was waiting for that night for Regina. That doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in that plaza that night. He showed up after I'd been waiting for about 5 minutes. He said good evening to him, but he didn't acknowledge my presence. I was absolutely sure it was him. I saw Maximilian Galactica on the sign. No way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 symbols. Ridiculous symbols. Huh. So that means that money didn't show up until after you saw Max? That's right, money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him? How long was it until you came back to where you were waiting? Well, let's see, I'd say about, I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. I'll read that. I was waiting. Let's press on that. Let's just press through this. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night. That means you wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4. You know, 4. F-O-U-R. Counting Ben's, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something would have slipped by me? Four Eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. The judge is even more dangerous to our case than Trilo. But doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night. Of course that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. Guess that makes sense, especially since he was waiting for Regina. He showed up after I'd been waiting for about 5 minutes. Okay. About what time would you say these events took place? You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure that out yourself. You already know the practice promptly finished at 10. If you already know I went looking for the lodging house right after practice, you don't need to know you don't need to be a brain surgeon to know what time it was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes. I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was it? Indeed, what time was it? What time was it? Let me think about that for a second. 5 plus 2 to the 4th power, 3, 4... your answer is wrong. It was 10 p.m., 10:10. Ah, yes. That sounds about right. It sounds about right because that's the time I saw Max on the scene. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. See, that's a little weird because why would you say good evening to him? You hate him. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning, good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I'd say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You got something to add? Let me guess. That's not it, Trilo. You say good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trilo. Mr. Quest, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom. Impossible. Performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better. There's gotta be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Ben's half of the comedy act. Oh, that's great. If I wasn't, you know, going to horribly be hurt by the whip for choosing that option, I would. Yeah, the greeting though, like, honestly, it's so weird that he would greet him. Isn't it a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, if you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? It strikes me as somewhat strange. Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly. How's it strange to be cordial to one of your coworkers? Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, I would understand. Oh, that hurt. Maybe you should think of having some proof next time your lips start flapping next time. Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. There's no reason that Trilo would ever say something nice to Max. But how do I go about proving that with the evidence? Bluffing is everything in this world. I'm sure you've already learned that one. I guess I can give it a shot. Huh. The witness will resume his testimony. Bluffing, huh? So, he said bluffing. That's interesting. Oh, well, then again, I guess he did get hit over the head with a bottle. Why would you say that? Why would you say good evening to someone who hit you over the head with a bottle? You'd probably say, hey, jackass, or something like that, more correctly. Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't add up. I just don't know. That's probably not how I want to present it. I'll go through the rest of it too. I'm sure it was Max. You lied to guys. Said good evening, and you were sure it was him. Just press on this real quick. You're 100% absolutely sure of what you just said. I told you already. Jeez, I'm 100% entirely sure. There's no way that he could be any more confident than that, right? There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. Okay. Those are just, you know, the normal. Those 3 ridiculous symbols, huh? Out of curiosity, exactly how many times have you asked that question by now? If you're gonna ask again, I'll answer with a chorus. Everyone together now. Silk Cloak, White Roses. Everyone. God, thank you very much. Maya, you didn't have to join in, did you? But it's fun shouting with everyone else. Has to be a hole in his testimony somewhere. I agree, but do we have the proof to make something stick? All we can do is try, right, Nick? We've got to have something that will prove useful. Alright, time to go to work. So I guess it is the bottle then. Like, yeah, because that's all that's connecting them, and it's just like, he hit you over the head with the bottle. Why would you say good evening to him? Yeah, objection. Trill, isn't that true you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument. A disagreement at most. A disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head. You exploded again. Why do you keep exploding? Just exploding. Over and over. That morning Ben got clobbered over the head, Max, didn't he? What? Is that an admission of assault and battery? Before we handle that, we should wrap up the defendant's murder charge first. The truth is, on the day of the crime, the defendant had witnessed a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would have suddenly become cordial that evening. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on the stand. There's no way a puppet this lewd. Really lewd? Is that the word for him? Is lewd really the word for him? I don't think lewd is the correct word to say. Like the correct way to describe him. Whatever. That doesn't matter. Would just say good evening to his rival. Are you saying this witness is lewd? Is he trying to frighten the defendant by claiming to have seen him at the crime scene? I didn't tell a single lie. Honestly, That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain what your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? I guess it would be... You saw a different person. Let's see. Well, let's go on, so he didn't, he saw somebody. I don't think, no, he saw a different person then, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna go with. It's my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person the witness saw was Max at all. What? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all, which means there is only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Maximilian Galactica. It is somebody he wanted to greet too. That is why Trilo, who made the great effort to greet whoever it was he saw that evening, or good evening, as he put it. What in the world? Would the defense kindly explain who it was Trilo saw that evening? Oh God. So, out of, like, the people he most likely saw, Russell was alive. He saw Ben. So, nobody on top row. It's out of these three people, I guess. And he didn't see Regina. So, down to these two. I don't think he'd say hello. No, because he left Moe, so, yeah, it has to be Russell then. Because he left Moe earlier. And it makes sense he'd say hi to his boss. Considering the ill temper of the witness, there's only one person he would greet. It must be Regina. It's Regina, right? She's so cute. No, Your Honor, it is not Regina. If it was Regina, Trilo would have given her the engagement ring as a present. Oh, yeah, I suppose you've got a point there. It was Russell Berry. The victim himself, was it not? You are correct. It was indeed Russell Berry. The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trilo. Isn't that correct? Gulp. Answer the question, Mr. Quist. He exploded again. And he was never found. Order, order. How do you respond to this? Wait a second. At first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Maximilian Galactica. I think it's high time that we clear the air about this question. Mr. Quest obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Maximilian Galactica? Or was it the ringmaster, one Mr. Russell Berry? The prosecution argues that it was the defendant that the witness saw last night. The witness has clearly stated that he saw the defendant's 3 symbols. 3 symbols? Alright, this is getting old. Come on, man. You gotta remember them by now. Here we go again. God damn it. Everyone, all together now. Ow. Yes, we know. The silk hat, cloak, and white roses. The silk hat and cloak. Anyone could wear them. They'd even look good on me. What was that? Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do we know it was really Maximilian Galactica? It could have been someone else, dressed up as him. Possibly even Russell Berry. What? Miss Von Karma. Do you have clear evidence that proves the witness saw the defendant? Well, if that's the case, then it is impossible for me to make a judgment at this point. Yes, I think we finally won a point in this one. This is very unfortunate. Huh? You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix, right? What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you for your effort, but... Who that person was can only be answered by the next witness. Huh? Wait, no. Oh, God, Moe. Your Honor, the prosecution will provide, beyond a shadow of doubt, an answer to that question, and evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no one other than Maximilian Galactica responsible for that crime. Very well. The court will take a 10-minute recess. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Court is now in recess. Oh, man. I'm not looking forward to the next witness. Please, no. If it's who I think it is, please, no. Anything but that. Anything but that.